So how is Panda Creek different from Sanderson?
I think every school is different. I think if I look back on like 8 schools that I've had since I've been a high school teacher, I think every school has its own community, its own culture. Not one school is alike. They have different value systems. Um, they have some similarities and differences. I think Sanderson was a neighborhood that was built back in the late 60s. So it was different so much about Sanderson than it was Panther Creek, because that got built in 1968. This one got 2006. So that was a school that was, um, let's just call it traditional old
Mm-hmm.
school. You know, they had grandparents that went there, the parents went there. Now the
Mm-hmm.
children, 3, 4 generations have gone through there. So
Gotcha.
very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to keep some of the things that they used to do in the late 60s. They want to keep those traditions going. One of the biggest transitions is that prom is in their school and they decorate the complete school because that's what they did back in 68. Um, so there's a difference in types of children, what their interests are,
Mm-hmm.
how many are going to go to college, how many might go to military, how many are
Mm-hmm.
looking for jobs. So I think every school that I've had, and in the 8 that I've been a part of, everyone is different. Some similarities is that the students that are there are looking to better themselves and hopefully get higher education. So
Gotcha. So what made you want to come to Panda Creek?
this is the neighborhood that I brought my family about 21 years ago. I've been traveling long distances every day, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I always wanted to come back here. I think there was a point in time in my career that I didn't want to work in the same neighborhood that I lived, just simply because if I was um, washing my car in my bathing suit, I didn't want, hey, everybody ride by, take pictures or something. But I guess I'm getting older. I don't care about that
Yeah.
anymore. So, but now I am very, very happy. Perfect example is today I've got 2 night events. I got 3 night events, and at Sanderson, I wasn't able to go home, have dinner, come back.
Mm-hmm.
I would spend sometimes 16, 17, sometimes 20 some hours
Wow.
at the building. This gives me an opportunity for the PTA meeting, for example, tomorrow. Is I'll leave here maybe about 3:30. I'll have dinner with my wife. We'll chat. I'll hop in the car about maybe 6:45. Get here by 7, and so it gives me a little break.
So what is your favorite thing about Panda Creek?
Wow, there's a lot of them. What is remarkable to me is the behavior of the students. Um, we have a huge percent of our students that are very compliant. They're where they're supposed to be. They do what they need to be doing. They don't need a lot of oversight. They don't need a lot of discipline. They don't need a lot of direction. We're certainly there if they need it for a positive, but a lot of my schools, if you took a look at pretty much their background and their culture, they were a lot needier, and therefore my job description was much more different here than it was in my other schools. So it's nice to be able just to get out during passing periods and see the smiling faces and everyone's moving, everyone's going where they need to be going. Not that they don't have kids that are ditching off in the woods at lunchtime, but you're going to get a little bit of that everywhere. So.
Yeah. So do you have any future plans for Panda Creek to make it better?
Good question. I think what I've always done when I transition from school to school is I made a point of understanding that when you take over someone else's operation, um, parents have invested, lots of years in the school, and there's tradition, there's rules, there's way of doing business. The last thing they want is to have somebody new come in and blow everything up. I've learned that I need to respect what's been built.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I get an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing, then that will be the time that if I need to put my fingerprints on something, I can.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not this massive need to fix because there's really nothing broken. So right now I'm taking my time to do a lot of observing, a lot of thinking, a lot of watching, keeping my mouth closed, my heart open, and gather as much information, and then you'll start slowly saying, hey, why don't we do, okay, can we try this? How about, I'm not going to blow everything up, but I'll try to make it more effective and efficient if I see some of that going on. I'm a relationship person, so you're going to see me wanting to get to know the students, wanting to get to know the parents, and be highly involved.
So, what sports teams are you excited to watch this year?
Well, being a former athlete, all of them. If it wasn't for sports, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you today. We all have a background, we all have our stories, but it was the opportunity for me to be involved in athletics that led me to get involved in education and become a coach and become a high school teacher and eventually an administrator. So I will support the arts and I will support the sports. I was also involved in drama and chorus and some of the arts programs that we had when I was in high school. My kids were highly involved when they were in high school too, so awesome. You'll see me at those events as well.
Sweet. And so last question, so far is Panda Creek your favorite school you've been at?
It's a loaded question. As I'm saying right now, this is about as different as I've ever experienced any other job, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. It's completely different. My jobs at those schools were completely different than this one, so I'm enjoying this experience, and I'm highly delighted to be a part of you guys.